What's up, fishing peeps? Oh, yeah, this is video. I don't need to wear this. Good day, people. What is going on with Berryessa? Why is the fishing the way it is? Well, there's a couple reasons, and there's really nothing wrong with it. The water level's not great. Let's face it, folks. It's been a long time since the water's been this shallow. The other thing that happened this past year, coming through December, November, into January, it didn't cool off enough. It was warm. I think I was up there in December. It was still 64, 65 degrees. We didn't have that temperature fall until like the end of December, beginning of January. And it just put the fish into the winter mode late. And you know, now the days are getting longer. Once we're past that winter solstice, the days are starting to get longer. I think we're now officially into the 10 hours a day. And February is a great month. February is when the big ones will start to chew. Now, it's a little early. The full moon isn't until the latter half of the month. That's when I really expect to see things turn around, okay? Hopefully we get some rain because we definitely need some more rising of the water level. But the lake is okay. It's just a transition time, and it really put the fish in a very short winter period, especially since we've had all these nice days. Now, the days are still short, so the water's not going to warm up yet, and it's still cold at night. So it's pretty much going to stay where it is, which is right around 53, 54 degrees. Now, you may get some upper parts of the water column, you know, heat up in the shallows or something a little bit. So there is an opportunity for an afternoon reaction bite. Right now, though, I'm looking at bottom baits, okay? Everything I'm seeing is on the bottom. Now, a little later in the day, you do start to see a little more activity. But until that picks up, we start seeing that bait come back up, I'm afraid it's going to be a deep, slow bite, and that's all there is to it. Doesn't mean you can't catch a lot of fish. I mean, last time out, I caught 15, 16 fish, and that was just over a week ago. And this week, I'm going back out, so look for that report. And I thoroughly expect it to be double that, mostly because I kind of picked up a little bit on what I need to be doing and what type of stuff I need to be doing it on. All right, so let's talk 5 baits that I'd suggest you have tied on right now. Now, these may not be tournament winning baits, okay? This is about getting bit. Let's catch some fish. Start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and in order to do that, we have to get bit. First and foremost, if you've watched my channel at all, is the finesse jig, and it's the finesse jig that I tie. It's not just small, and it's not real short at the head like a lot of the finesse jigs are. It's a normal length skirt bait. There's just fewer strands of skirting in it, okay? I like it a little more sparse. I'm fishing the Jig Slow. This is the key. And I watched a video of another gentleman out there fishing a jig, and the problem is he was fishing it too fast. You can fish it shallow, but you can't move the bait a lot. You got to let it sit there. So the reason I like the living rubber is that skirt flares, it pulses in the water without even moving it, right? Or you just tip your rod just a little bit. You don't need to do it that many times, once. And it's going to make that skirt do this, okay? I'm using 2 trailers. One's the Flapping Hog, and the other is a twin tail Yamamoto. That's it. Very simple. See which one you can get away with. I mean, if they're both working. I mean, I'm letting them both sit. They really like the twin tail there. The Flapping Hog might have a tendency to get bit by a little bit more largemouth. Just something I noticed. Number 2 bait. I'm still throwing the underspin. Okay. Same deal though. It's matter of fact, I may even switch to throwing on a spinning rod, just because I want it down there deeper and I want to keep it moving slow. Once they eat it, I mean, the ones you're getting to commit to eating it, they're eating it. And I'm probably going to drop down in size also, go down to a 3.3 on a 3/8 ounce. Okay, I'd been throwing the 3/8 and the 4.3 just to have a little bigger profile to get away from what everyone else is doing. But because I want to get it down deeper, I'm going to use one a little bit smaller. It'll just help the rate of fall. It won't take me all day to get the bait down. Whoa, there go the lights. Okay. All right, number 3 is going to be a Shaky Head. Again, we're not going to move it a whole lot. We're not going to be sitting there shaking it nonstop. You got to be very patient, folks, and they just don't want a lot of action in the bait right now. Okay, you can use a worm, you can use a baby brush hog, you can use a smallie beaver, you can use a regular beaver. I prefer the smallie beaver on a frenzy nail. Works really well. Okay, it'll stand it up. You can also use the Strike King has a rodent. It's a smaller rodent. That one also works really good. There's also the Rains ring craw. Works really, really well on that bait also. Anyway, all of those are the same thing. Same as the jig. We don't want to move it a lot. And don't forget the worm on the Shaky Head. Okay, same deal though. We don't want to move it a lot, folks. We want to. There's natural pulsation in the water. The fish are not real active. I mean, the water temperature's cool, and they don't need to eat a lot this time of year. But that said, we are coming into February, and they do need to fatten up and get protein for those eggs. And the males still need to fatten up because they ain't going to be eating for a while once that process starts. So everybody's going to have to get to chewing. The fishing's going to improve every week from here on out, okay? Don't expect it to be rapid in the beginning of the month. That's going to happen more later in the month, unless we get some weather. We start getting some wind and rain, it could really be on, okay? That's why it's been tough. It's been beautiful outside. It's been calm, and it's just, you know, it is what it is. All right, the other bait we need, Neko Rig. Neko Rig Senko, Neko Rig True Center Stick. I like the True Center Stick by X Zone. I just like the worm better, okay? And to me, it works better on a Neko Rig anyway. It's not quite as dense, doesn't fall quite as fast, so it stands up a little better in the water column when it's down on the bottom. How many is that? Jig, Shaky Head, Neko Rig. We need a rip bait, and we're gonna fish it slow. I mean, you're gonna give it some pauses, okay? Jerk, jerk, jerk. First, get it down, reel it, get it down a little bit, and then jerk, jerk, and then let it sit. And we're gonna let it sit for a little while. Think Hank Cherry in the Classic, okay? Watch some of what he's doing. Hank Cherry's an excellent jerkbait fisherman, and he will give you some great pointers. Way better than I am, okay? Look around out there. You see some activity, don't be afraid to get up on the point and turn around and throw it out and work it to the point. Back up, okay? There's a lot of fish that suspend out there that are tough to catch any other way. All right, and our final bait is going to be a crankbait. Berryessa is famous for a afternoon crankbait bite. Okay, now you may think I'm crazy. I didn't mention chatterbait. I will have a chatterbait tied on, but this channel is about catching fish, people. How can I help you catch more fish, okay? And the crankbait will catch good ones too. That's the nice thing about it. But on a nice day out, when the water has been warming and those rocks have been heating up, man, you can get on some of those steeper banks. And that's where you want to do it, on the steeper banks with the crankbait. And go to work. And we're not talking about a real deep diver here. I like something, you know, between 8 and 12 foot. And I'm throwing a craw pattern, you know, like a Delta craw, Delta red, chili craw, something like that. And just mess with your cadence, okay? Try bumping it on stuff. Try not bumping it on stuff. Stop, go. Just a slow, consistent. You got to mess around with the retrieve, but they will eat the crankbait on Berryessa. And you can also throw it in the morning. a bonus bait would be the LV 500. Okay, if you want to go get on some flats with the LV 500 and a chatterbait, work them slow. But there will be some largemouth on the flats. They're just going to require more work. All right, so I'm going to Berryessa on Thursday. Those are the things I'm going to be doing. You can watch it. I will be posting the video, and I do expect to catch a lot more fish than I did last time. I'm actually expecting to catch some bigger fish this time because I know a little bit more. I won't waste as much time, and I'll get to do a few more things. It's all about learning, folks, and I hadn't been up to Berryessa for a little while. The fish have changed a lot since I had been up there. It had been a few weeks, and it's just before Christmas, prior to that last trip. So we grow, we learn, we think about what we did, what we didn't do, we think about what we saw. It's always a lot easier to do once you're off the water. And those guys that are really good on the water doing it are the guys that are really successful, okay? I always do better my second day because I take what I learned, I process it, I plan, and I make some adjustments, okay? Like a football game at halftime, you come out and make some adjustments. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to sit down and think about what I've learned and make adjustments sooner instead of having to do it the next day. All right, this is Sean, the Average Angler. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. If you like this video, like and subscribe, share it with your friends. We will see you on Friday with that video about how my day on Lake Berryessa went. Peace out.